In fact, it was nearly 11 before I reached the stone circle. It was drizzling, and I was soaked through, not having thought to bring a mag. I made a cursory examination of the outside of the circle, but if there had ever been a fire there, someone had taken pains to remove its traces. The plant was easier to find. It was where I remembered it, near the foot of the tallest stone. I took several clippings of the vine and stowed them temporarily in my handkerchief, meaning to deal with them properly when I got back to Mrs. Baird's tiny car, where I had left the heavy plant presses. The tallest stone of the circle was cleft, with a vertical split dividing the two massive pieces. Oddly, the pieces had been drawn apart by some means. Though you could see that the facing surfaces matched, they were separated by a gap of 2 or 3 feet. There was a deep humming noise coming from somewhere near at hand. I thought there might be a beehive lodged in some crevice of the rock, and placed a hand on the stone in order to lean into the cleft. The stone screamed. I'd never heard such a sound from anything living. There was no way to describe it, except to say that it was the sort of scream you might expect from a stone. It was horrible. The other stones began to shout. There was a noise of battle and the cries of dying men and shattered horses. I shook my head violently to clear it, but the noise went on. I stumbled to my feet and staggered toward the edge of the circle. The sounds were all around me, making my teeth ache and my head spin, and my vision began to blur. I don't know now whether I went through to the cleft in the main stone, or whether it was accidental, a blind drifting through the noise and the fog. I could say that I felt as though I was spinning, or as though I was being pulled inside out. Well, all of these things are true, but none of them conveys the sense I had of complete disruption and being slammed very hard against something that wasn't there. The truth is, nothing moved, nothing changed, nothing whatever appeared to happen, and yet I experienced a feeling of elemental terror so great that I lost all sense of who or what or where I was. I cannot say I lost consciousness, but I was certainly not aware of myself for some time. I awoke, if that's the word, when I stumbled on a rock near the bottom of the hill. I half slid the remaining few feet and fetched up on the thick, tufted grass at the foot. I felt sick and dizzy. There was a confused noise of shouting nearby, which reminded me of the sounds I'd heard and felt in the stone circle. The ring of inhuman violence was lacking, though. This was the normal sound of human conflict, and I turned toward it. And thinking she stumbled into a film set, Claire falls foul of her ancestor, her husband's ancestor, and she is captured by the Highlanders, who in fact, of course, are not on a film set, because they are back just before the Battle of Culloden. She's been taken now to a small cottage.